Hey everybody, it's Chris with the Droning Company here with Bobby Saki from Ascent AeroSystems. Bobby, the first thing I got to point out here is just how unique this drone system looks. I mean, there's nothing else like it on the market, but before we talk a little bit about that, tell me about your role with the company, what you do, and what the company's missions and goals are in the aerospace industry.
Yeah, for sure. I joined early March. Before that, I was doing consulting, and before that, I actually worked at Autel, worked in counter drone before that. I've been in the drone industry since before 2016, and like many folks, got the bug flying and got hooked. So yeah, Ascent has actually been around even longer, since around like 2012, and we're working on coax designs. And the coax, believe it or not, has been around longer than quads. Helicopters been using it for quite some time. And there's some benefits, one of which being that it's a lot more efficient for its weight. So payload capacity is much higher for how much the aircraft weighs. We're also able to carry these payloads for longer periods of time. The cylindrical form factor allows us to actually weatherize the aircraft much easier. It's IP56 rated, so it can fly in all weather conditions, hail, rain. It can fly in winds up to 40 miles an hour. And one of the really unique things about the Spirit, which we're very proud of, is the modularity. We consider it to being the most modular platform on the market. The Spirit itself is kind of positioned as like a workhorse platform, so kind of like a American-made M300. We're also on the Blue UAS list with this as well. So, so the modulators, as I was saying, batteries, you take one or two of them. There's a series of click rings that are used to attach payloads as well as batteries and other functionality. Maximum takeoff weight of this is 13 pounds, with a payload capacity of 6.5. We announced the NX30 at AUVSI this past year. It's got twice the payload capacity and twice the maximum takeoff weight. It's around 30 pounds, can carry 15 pounds. This aircraft flies for well over an hour empty, can carry 5 pounds up to an hour. The Spirit itself flies between 30 minutes and an hour, so about an hour empty, 30 minutes with 2 kilograms of weight. And the modularity is awesome because we actually can like swap not just like batteries and navigation sensors, but like the payloads themselves. So you'll see here, this is our mapping payload. One of them with Sony A7R with a prime lens. This payload here is the part of our blue kit, the Next Vision Nighthawk UZ. You get 40x zoom on that, plus 1280 by 720 IR. We have another payload over here. You can see we'll be launching that very soon. H30, it's got over 300x zoom, target tracking, object tracking, etc. And then these are our more affordable options as well. And that modularity also goes with the controllers. So we have modular radio capabilities. This is the HearLink, our least expensive option. Our blue option uses a Autarian SkyNav. We have some other options coming out as well that are a little bit more cost effective. But similar to the DJI, like it's just a simple twist, and it's gone. And so, essentially, we build this whole thing from here below. It's called the Payload Development Kit. Depending on your sensor, if it requires a companion computer, certain power requirements, we build this in here. We adapt the angle of the landing legs to account for it. And they have these common mating areas. So like these are both VPRO cameras, they clip in, they're interchangeable. You can literally take this whole aircraft, unclip it, put on a blue payload, and then now it's Blue UAS compatible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is incredible. I mean, the interchangeability just in the technology alone is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the flexibility for customers is great. And honestly, the aircraft was it's meant to be a tool. And you guys are aware, like, this industry is fascinating. It's very fun, but like, it's useful. And it's only through its utility have we all been able to have jobs and really make this industry blow up. I mean, the safe integration of drones into society is really important. I think we're just like in the early days, and all of us drone nerds, we've drank the Kool-Aid, and we just got to make sure that we can convince everybody else that this technology is here to stay and has real value.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions about the drone itself. In terms of flight time, I mean, what do you get out of a single battery with?
Yeah, so generally a single battery is about 30 minutes. We offer dual batteries, so it goes to an hour.
Okay.
And based on the payload capacity, like you may be limited to just one battery. So on like the max payload capacity, you only fly with one battery. It's 15 minutes. 2 batteries, no payload is an hour. And so the endurance curve, we have it on our website and also like in the aircraft flight manual, kind of what expected endurance is based on what weight of payload.
Okay, that's excellent. And you were talking about wind speed and in terms of the weather itself. I mean, this is weather resistant, correct? I mean, what can this handle, really?
We have flown it in hail, pouring rain, sideways rain. We have flown it in conditions that have grounded airliners. So one of the big things for us is high dispatch reliability. Our CEO came from the airline industry. Other co-founders came from aerospace. Our other executive came from the Pentagon. So there's like this idea of reliability and like repeatable reliability and dispatch reliability that's really important. Look at airlines, for example. Like if aircraft only flew in fair weather, it wouldn't work. If Amazon could only deliver packages in fair weather, their business wouldn't really work. And I think that drones, especially drone delivery, whether it's DFR, any type of drone service, DFR, drone delivery, etc., you got to have a platform that can perform in all conditions. Otherwise, those workflows don't really work.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of workflow, that leads nicely into my next question here. There's a lot of talk about geofencing and how that impacts Part 107 operations. How Part 107 pilots have the knowledge to operate commercially according to the rules because of their knowledge base. Does this have any type of geofencing system on it?
It does not have any geofencing built in, no. Because it is open source and built on open architecture, it works with any Mavlink compatible GCS. Some of those GCSs, the software have built-in geofencing. The ones we offer don't.
Okay.
So it can be geofenced if you needed to, but we don't offer that as standard.
That's fantastic. The flexibility is great because I know a lot of commercial pilots that have the know-how don't really need the geofencing, and it actually hinders them more than anything. So, quick question for you. If you were going to talk to somebody that was trying to get into being a commercial remote pilot, they may be considering your platform, using it in some application, what would your piece of advice be for them getting into the commercial drone industry?
Be very proficient at flying the drone. Honestly, research the other companies and what they do. It's really important to know what other companies are doing and what they're working on so that you can cross-shop. So like if you think of, you want to buy a car, you're going to cross-shop, you're going to look at an F-150, you're probably going to shop the GMC Sierra or, the Toyota Tundra. And there's certain things about each vehicle that may appeal to you, vice versa, and why they sell to certain customer bases. If you're trying to get in the drone industry, identify like what service you're passionate about. If you're really good at aerial photography, you want to get into surveying, industrial inspection, and then look at the OEMs and companies that serve those markets and to find the right tool.
That's great advice. Last part, somebody wants to learn a little bit more about Ascent AeroSystems. Where can they find you? Social media, website?
Yeah, AscentAeroSystems.com. We're on LinkedIn as well. Probably LinkedIn is our most active social. But yeah, AscentAeroSystems.com. You can learn about all the products in development, spec sheets. Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, Bobby, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Absolutely. Thank you.
The Droning Company is a job agency for drone pilots which also incorporates a high-end magazine about the industry. So people search this when they're looking for a drone pilot. They talk to the pilot directly, either via email or phone. We're not involved. We don't take commissions. Never have, never will.